so today I'm going to be demonstrating the travel server as well as the travel client for the travel agency program. Going off the instructions, I'll go step by step on how to use the program itself. First thing you do is you'd go inside the folder where where you unzip this program. Make clean is the first command. Second is to run make. It should compile. All right, and to run the actual program, use travel server. I'm going to use localhost, port 9000, given an initial of 5 ports to open. The data.txt and the out.txt already contain some files. We had restrictions with a maximum of 8 ports, so if you try to go beyond that, it won't open. So I'm going to go ahead and use 8 out of 5 rather. All right, so now the server is listening. I'm going to go ahead and connect with multiple clients here now. So 9001, 9002, 9003, and lastly 9004. All right. So once you're in the client, you can do basic flight commands, which I'll go through them in order. The first is query. And as you can see, you can't really run any command until you've logged on. So we can save the username. So really the first command is log on, and we'll log on with a shell. We'll log on the other ones as well. Also, there was a restriction where if 2 people logged on with the same name, they would not be able to have the same name, so we just append a number. So if I log in Pashev again, I get assigned Pashev 1. All right, and we'll log on a random Jose and log on Jessica for good measure. All right, so if we query, I've already set up a test flight. Here it gives us 10. And if we query MIA to Orlando, these are round trips. This one also has 10. If we don't want to blindly query flights, we can list all of them with the list command. So here you are. Next, you can reserve a flight. I'm just going to go ahead and use test from this point on because I don't want to type the hyphens. So reserve test 2 flights. On any other window, if we list the new flights, we see that it's 8. Or we could just query. It's 8 over here. Okay. So we reserve. We can also return 2 flights. In here, return 2 seats on the flight. Right, we can query, and we're back to 10. Okay. So that's reserve and return. Also, there is list with a number at the end. So list 3 will list 3 flights. List 4 will list 4 flights, including the empty ones. But if we do list available, it only lists the flights that are available. So list available 3 gives us the first 3 flights that are available, non-empty flights, that is. So that's that. Okay. There's also the log off command, but they'll close the client, so we won't log off just yet. Matter of fact, let's just log off on this one. we still have 3 open. Log off. All right. Okay, so next we'll be demonstrating the chat feature. So here, enter chat, puts you in the chat room. We can enter chat again. Here, we have 2 in the chat room and 1 that's just hanging out. The commands, the chat commands are list all the users that are online. There's also list underscore all. It lists all users, but it tells you which ones are online and which ones are offline. And Jessica is offline. We can tell that by saying list underscore offline. Here, only 1 user, Jessica. So let's have Jessica join the party. Enter chat. Inside the chat, you can enter text. Hello, guys. Since this is the chat client also serves as your command line client, you have to refresh it to get the latest chat. But as you can see, it's being propagated to all the clients. So let's say Jose here says text, hi guys, I'm Jose. So that's him. Over here it shows up on Pashev's screen, and over here it shows up on Jose's screen. So that works as well. Okay. And those were the basic commands for the chat, really. And the other command is exit chat. Here you get a nice little message. We can even list now on one of the other 2. We'll see there's only 2 online, and list all shows us there's 3 total, but only 2 are online. And list offline will show that Jose is now not in the chat. And he can go back to requesting flights and such. Reserve 3 on, test 4, and reserve 4 seats on flight, and list them. We see that now test went down to 6. If he tried to reserve too many, reserve 9, test 9, he would get an error. So we have a pretty smart server with error handling. Speaking of servers, there's some basic commands you can run on the server. One of them is exit. We won't use that one yet. But if you type the command list, it will tell you all users, either that are online in the chat room and also offline, and list chat. Similar to being in the chat, will list all users in chat, but only for the server. Lastly, here we see the out.txt file, which we specified, but if we removed it, we can see it's not there. But with the right command, since we specified out.txt, it should save the new values of test. Here you go. Test is updated here to 6, and it's saved to the out file. And if we look on the bottom left here, you see the out.txt file. And if we quickly look inside, we see, yes, all the files are there, including test. All right. So that's the travel agency program. Command line program uses pthreads to create multiple threads that will handle the different clients, and also uses sockets. All right, thank you for watching.